Hello, fellow Beastians. This is your one and only Gaming Beast, and today I have AJ Pickett and Auriel here. Auriel, what is your YouTube name again? Forgot.
Rufus the man.
Rufus the Man, of course. And I pretentiously forgot your name when I honestly just didn't came to mind. Now, Rufus the Man, the gnome that hides. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm being a dick here. Fellow Hungarian, of course, Rufus, and AJ, awesome New Zealander. We had a little discussion here on the One Shot group about there was a new trailer, the first full trailer for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. AJ, have you seen it?
I have.
Okay, we have all seen the trailer. Now, teaser trailer at most. Let's be quite honest here, because there's barely anything there, but it's a little bit. I mean, a little bit. Now, the discussion was about Superman in general, but let's just start with a very general question. What do you guys think about the trailer?
I thought it was.
Yeah, you start.
I thought it was dark. I liked the sort of theme of it, that it sort of captured what was going on in the graphic novel. That I think it's based on that graphic novel with Batman vs Superman, which was pretty good. Well, it was better than good. The graphic novel was awesome. I still have keen memories of reading that and really enjoying it. And they seem to have captured a lot of the elements from that. I'm just wondering how close to that sort of storyline they're going to stick to. Ben Affleck as Superman? Yeah, I've got no problem. I'm jaded as far as whoever's playing Superman.
Batman, he's Batman. It's
sorry,
what's his name?
Ben Affleck. Sorry.
Whatever his name is Superman.
Who's playing Superman? Who cares? It doesn't really matter.
No, that's not right. That's not right. It matters to me. Excuse me, I'm this person.
Well, there's certain people that we're not going to dig out of the grave to play Superman, so you're going to be sorely disappointed. But what's the best out of what's left, though, Sean? That's the question. Who can we? Basically, you just got a guy who looks like Superman. Does his acting ability actually matter?
Oh yes, it does.
Henry Cavill.
Come on.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, and you know what? Henry Cavill actually is a good actor, and he actually portrays Superman well. And how dare you say it doesn't matter? Come on, AJ. Come on.
Because he's a cardboard cutout. He's like, I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I mean, you're talking about in your post.
He's not Mr. Nice Guy. He's not even playing.
Ideal Superman.
Hey! Christopher Reeve played a really cool Superman, and everybody gives Superman so much shit because he's so bland because people need to murder people every 5 seconds to be cool or something shit like that.
Christopher Reeve played Superman like an idiot. I mean, here's the guy who's
No. This is not how Christopher Reeve plays Superman. Christopher Reeve plays Superman. He was playing Kal-El, pretending to be the dorky Clark Kent, even though he was Superman. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Who could do all these things. Okay, let's be quite honest here.
So, let's talk about the trailer first, and then after.
Yes.
I mean, come on, AJ. Come on, man.
I gotta play the devil's advocate, you know. I gotta say, I'm not.
I have a person on the website I'm on. The next round called the devil's advocate, Lucifer's lawyer. Okay. Why isn't he here? I don't know. He should be here.
Well, I'll take his role. So, yeah. Do you see this Superman as having the Clark Kent personality as well, or
I think Zack Snyder has an obsession with doing everything super epic and super like he wants this whole I mean, the trailer already shows. This is a teaser trailer, and it's all about they're discussing if Superman should be on Earth or not, because they're talking about absolute power corrupts absolutely, and is the Superman doing the right thing, and is he the false god? To one degree, I can see this could be in a way a cool thing. Is it the right way to go right on the beginning? Also, there's a lot of elements with, as you said already, The Dark Knight Rises, you know? I'm not quite sure. I don't have a problem with Ben Affleck being Batman. I think he's gonna do good. If nothing else, the bat suit looks awesome. I will admit that. I mean, the bat suit, honestly, it's the closest we're probably gonna get to a gray and black bat suit. You know?
Yeah.
And
I hate
yeah.
how the movies have done that sort of James Bond thing where every new Batman movie's got to have the new Bat car, it's got to have the new Bat suit, he's got to have this and that, and it's this, yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry, but the best Batmobile is still gonna be from the first two. That Batmobile and the Batwing too. I'm sorry, those two things. Just, I mean, there's a scene where Batman flies in the sky with the Batwing, and he just stands in front of the moon, and it's the bat symbol, and then he falls down. I'm sorry, that's great. I don't care what anybody says, okay? And when people say it's not realistic and it's not this and whatever, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna have Batman. I want to have the full experience. I don't care about like, oh, it's a fucking asshole in some bat costume in a bat-shaped plane. Let's not fucking pretend like this is realistic, okay? Yeah. In the realistic world, the mob would have mowed him down long ago. Okay?
That's true. Yeah.
Let's move on.
Novel, of course, we're talking about an older Batman as well. So this is not the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Right,
this is the older old, Batman.
Jaded.
Yeah.
But I talked about the trailer, and the trailer was good, but my problem with it was that it will scatter between the storylines, I think, the movie, and it won't be able to introduce this new Batman, who is not the Nolanverse Batman. And
oh my God, the Nolanverse Batman, Nolan! I'm sorry.
I really don't like that Batman. I'm kind of an old man because my favorite Batman movie was Batman and Robin.
How dare you say that? Come on, man. Batman Forever. I'm like, okay, fine. You know, I actually thought, you know, what's his name? What's his name again?
Joel Schumacher?
Iceman.
Oh.
No, the actor, Iceman.
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Not Arnold Schwarzenegger, because to break the ice. Yeah, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. No, Val Kilmer. There we go. Val Kilmer was actually a cool Batman, and he was a pretty good Bruce Wayne. Just not the right Batman movie. I'm not. Batman Forever was. It has some good things. The problem was they chose Jim Carrey to be the Riddler, and Riddler is not this zany, crazy guy. Okay. Also, Tommy Lee Jones playing Two-Face. Two-Face is not, again, when he was trying to forcing a result with the coin.
Yeah.
No, Two-Face, when the result comes, he takes that result because he's that insane. Either it's good or bad. There was literally a comic book where Bruce Wayne comes to Arkham Asylum for some reason, and then for some reason the people break out and he starts fighting back, right? Because he's Bruce Wayne, he's still Batman, right? But he's still overwhelmed because there are a lot of people. But then Harvey Dent starts helping him because he said today the coin was on the side where it's good, you know, because that's how he works. He's a person of dualism, and he works on the crime of twos. You know, people don't understand that. But with Batman and Robin, it was like, on the one hand, it was kind of interesting how he threw the coins and then disrupted, but it was also kind of gimmicky. And that's why I appreciated with the Dark Knight movie how they gave him more depth. But then again, he was only there for a short time. And also, again, with Dark Knight Rises, I didn't like that movie. I'm sorry, I just couldn't like it. What they did with Bane, it was just kind of lame. Oh, instead of like him having the Venom enhancement, now he has a breathing problem. I'm like, oh my God, Nolan. Oh, we cannot have the Venom thing. We have to give him a breathing problem.
No, the problem
maybe they
was
put that forward.
new movies, what I really didn't like, it wasn't Gotham, and that's why I liked Batman and Robin and Batman Forever better because that's Gotham, because it looks
Yeah.
dark and creepy and it's a bit weird. But that new movies is just like, hey, no, this is New York, wow, or whatever,
Gotham
Chicago.
is New York. It's a dark New York, just like Metropolis is a light New York.
No,
Actually,
It's got those,
it's
it's got
not
those,
because
it's got those big statues and stuff.
yeah, okay, fair enough. It's weird. It should be weird. There was weirdness. That's why I could still accept Batman Forever. I liked most Batman and Batman Returns with Michael Keaton, you know, because you had Jack Nicholson as Joker, which was great, and you had the Penguin and you had Catwoman done really well, So I don't know, like for me, that's was a good representation. But I will say with this new Batman, and especially that was something I always wanted to happen. This is a childhood wish of mine. Superman and Batman meeting. Is it the way I want them to meet? Is it the universe I want them to be in? Honestly, no. You know, I would like to have a more upbeat, honestly, a more Silver Agey Superman and Batman, do shit together, and they will do shit together. But I know what's the fad right now, especially what DC Warner thinks is the fad. Honestly, I wish Marvel Studios would do the movies. Even for the Warner Cinematic Universe, the DC Cinematic Universe. But Warner thinks that we have to go super duper dark, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking great, especially once you come to Shazam, because they said, oh, we're gonna make Shazam lighter. I mean, like, How is Shazam gonna work? I'm like, it's gonna really clash with the way how you're gonna build the world right now, the cinematic universe, because the next movie is gonna be Suicide Squad, and
I think they down fucked up with this trying to build a cinematic universe. And I mean, not the problem is not that they are building the universe with separate movies, but that they had to do the same year Avengers comes out because they really need a movie separate just to introduce the new Batman. Because this won't work. I tell you.
oh, they will have a movie. They will have movies. They will have a movie. They actually announced already there's gonna be also separate Batman movies. I honestly don't have a problem that they didn't make a separate Batman movie now to introduce him, because I think Batman is gonna be a huge chunk of this new movie, because everybody has this huge boner for Batman, and which it annoys me to a point, but I also understand why, because Batman is cool, he's a cool character.
I can't think
But
of a
yeah.
single movie that has done justice to the fact that Batman is a super intelligent detective.
Yeah, that's true.
I will say this with the Nolan trilogy, that they at least tried,
All I can think of is where Morgan Freeman comes in and sees that Bruce Wayne has put all of the computers together and is tracking all the cell phones around the country, and he realizes that he's used it for it. He's taken it way beyond his comfort zone and taken it to a sort of dark extreme. And then he says that this will be broken when I come back. Well, I'm only going to use it for this, and then I'm going to destroy it. That's when Morgan Freeman's okay with it. That was about the only sort of lip service they paid towards Bruce Wayne actually being able to invent stuff himself. Everything else was just handed over to Morgan Freeman, and he's got this big mega corporation that does all the invention for him.
That's true. That's true.
That's great. So his
power is money, basically.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about. I mean, Batman is not my favorite character. I have problems with the Batman character, but they really should do.
Oh, you have problems with the Batman character? Why don't you just say I'm an enemy of the internet right now? Because everybody loves Batman, and we have here Retro Kaiser right now. It's perfect that Kaiser comes to us right now, because it couldn't be better. right now.
Green Lantern's got a problem with Batman too.
The Aussie Knight returns.
If I knew we were live, I would have put on my makeup.
We have a New Zealander and an Aussie here. Please don't kill each other right now. We have AJ versus Kaiser.
You may have Peter Jackson, and he makes a
Dawn
pretty good movie, but we're better at sports.
That's it. AJ versus Kaiser. Dawn of Aussies. That's the movie.
Okay.
You know what, the rap
Congratulations, 23 million people beat a population of 4 million. Ooh.
No,
Okay,
AJ,
question.
we didn't team up.
Which one of you fucks the sheep?
I'll be
They got more sheep
AJ.
than we do. They got more sheep than we do. We do
That's
cows.
why they always come over here to visit.
Because the sheep are desperate for good. The sheep are desperate for real men.
That's the movie we need to see. This is not. We don't need to see the fucking rich and super powerful fight each other. You know.
I hate to tell you, Sean. I hate to tell you this, but I am part New Zealander
Of course you are, Kaiser.
on my grandmother's side.
What was that horror movie? Black Sheep. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
If you want another good New Zealand horror movie, watch what was it, Dead Alive or whatever it was called, the Peter Jackson
I have
film.
seen Dead Alive, or Brain Dead as it's called in
Brain
some
Dead, yeah.
countries.
Brain dead. Bad
It's
taste.
actually it's from Peter Jackson. It's actually a pretty
Yeah, it
good,
is.
very gory. But it's so gory. It's like gory in a sense where it's ridiculous, where I can't take it
Like-
seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, it's more
Yes.
like gore. The only gore that disturbs me and where I have a hard time watching it, or I don't want to watch it, when it's like realistic, especially torture shit, where I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
fuck that. If it's
Yeah.
like guys like slicing each other, like fucking, that movie is like, it's just a bunch of like color, really, like fucking. It's so ridiculous, where I just can't take it seriously anymore. But when they're like
and
very
in Brain Dead.
very specific. Sorry, yeah.
in Brain Dead, he used actual pig's blood in most of those scenes, and he went through gallons of the stuff. And there was that one scene where he's taken a lawnmower to a bunch of zombies. That was
Yeah,
just
I remember that. Yeah,
so over the top. It's just great.
it's
But he
so
did-
over the top, and I can't take it seriously. Like I watched it, and I was like, for me, it's like if it's not the amount of blood that disturbs me. For me, it's like when it actually looks realistic, where I could see this could actually happen. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. I'm like, nah.
Yeah. No, it's
You
a parody.
know-
It's a spoof.
You know when the movie's ridiculous when he's being attacked by a killer asshole, a literal asshole is trying to kill him.
Well, there was the whole point where he's get reborn, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chepe says something about not liking Batman. I guess we'll invite Chepe, because Chepe is pretty cool. So.
Too mainstream.
Where's my
Anyway,
Chepe?
we're talking about Superman and Batman. We're talking about the Batman vs. Superman trailer. You know what? For me, Superman is always going to be the power of truth, justice, and the American way. And honestly, I don't care what people say. Oh, it's so lame, it's so corny, it's so dorky. Superman is cool. I like Superman. But the thing is that I like Superman in the DC world because just as much as I like Superman, I also like Batman, of course, Wonder Woman, and of course Lobo. Because Lobo is like the guy who just says, you know, oh, you fuckers are assholes, or you fuckers are idiots. I'm the main man. I do what's necessary, you know. That's why I always thought, like, you know what DC, you know what Warner, if you want to have a really, like, you want to have your badass and whatever, you want to have your Deadpool equivalent, you make a proper Lobo movie. There was a point that Guy Ritchie was making a movie, and I'm so thankful he didn't. Jesus Christ, I'm so thankful, you know.
Yeah, you're talking about, like, what version of Lobo you're talking about? You're talking about the dark, gritty Zanian who
the proper
killed his
Lobo.
entire race.
Not the new 52 Lobo. Not the new. Yeah, he basically created the thing and everything, the Scorpion race that killed his race and whatever. Although I still consider Lobo as a neutral, a chaotic neutral entity. He will side with whatever side is more powerful. Which is less powerful. He will side with the power that is less powerful in order to kind of level it.
I'd hate to see him team up with Deadpool, but I have a feeling that's already happened.
It happened in role-playing form. I played Lobo, and I actually encountered a guy who played Deadpool. You know how well that works? It works really well. Deadpool and Lobo, they're made for each other. They're like, yeah, what's up? I'm a fucking insane psychopath killer. Hey, I'm a fucking insane psychopath immortal killer. Let's hang out and do shit. Great job.
In the comic, they have to have a montage of, like, you know, when they play something like da 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 da, you're my best friend, da 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 da.
Pretty much. Any kind of romantic or bro comedy, any kind of bullshit, anything like that, you could do.
There we go. Yeah, you can make fun of the title Dumb and Dumber, but you can call it Brutal and Brutaler.
Yeah, pretty much. There was one of my favorite crossover was Lobo versus the Mask, and it's the comic book Mask. Man, that was pretty brutal and gory and fucked up, but it was great. But yeah, back to Superman. I don't know. I grew up. My first impression of Superman was the 1978 original with Christopher Reeve, and there's people who say, oh, it's old-fashioned, it's corny. Yeah, okay.
I grew up on that shit, man.
No, I grew up on this shit. This was like the second live-action movie or the first one. I don't know. Either it was Star Wars or that one of those two. So,
so we need to give the original Superman credit due for bringing a superhero to the big screen and a mainstream audience.
Not just that, I will say this. For me, Superman, the original movie, is the best superhero movie to this day. Even better than Avengers or anything else. The reasons why is that Richard Donner could create a superhero movie at that time, which wasn't a parody, but it wasn't super duper serious. It was serious in the right moments, and it had a level of humor at the right moments, which only a few superhero movies could achieve. You know, because either they tried to be so serious that it was already a joke, you know, or they were such a parody where it was a joke. And I feel that the right balance was always so hard to find. But with Superman, they actually did find it. Also, most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies did find it. Right. I mean, I will say this. Avengers comes very close to kicking off Superman off the #1 spot for me. And I will admit a lot of it, because it's not kicked off, is nostalgia, I will admit. I'm not even talking about special effects or any kind of thing like that. And Avengers is great because it was a build-up through other movies. So you got to say that too. So it's going to be interesting for DC right now, because Warner, because they're trying to get this Avengers money. Because right now they wanted to make Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and right away Justice League, and then they want to do other movies, which I don't think is a problem. The problem is a lot of these characters will be less developed. So instead of they will have to have a really good script in order to convince us. Like this is a dream of mine, seeing Justice League in live action on the big screen, right? But they have to convince us with a really good script. Now they're trying to convince us with this movie already, because they already announced there's going to be a bunch of cameos, because they really want this to. Because it's so funny, because they made Man of Steel and they said, oh, maybe we'll do spin-offs. I'm not sure, and then it didn't do so well. Oh, Avengers did so fucking well. Oh yeah, we'll make fucking the DC cinematic universe. It's so predictable. It's so typical Hollywood. Oh, you have one movie that is successful. Let's rip it off. You know, and it's like
Yeah.
they,
DC is not taking any risks. DC is not taking any risks. And,
well, they almost did. You know, they almost did because it was like seriously, where they almost did a Justice League movie at 2008. You know, and it would have been a bad Justice League movie, believe me. Justice League Dark, it would have been called and everything. But they already kind of knew what Marvel was planning. But they were such pussies, honestly, in that, and I don't know a better term. If you have a better term, say it. But the point is that they were so afraid of risking, oh, we're going to do a cross-universe thing. And the only thing I remember was, like, in Superman Returns, they mentioned, Superman appeared in Gotham City. They barely mentioned it. And it was like in what is it? In Batman and Robin of all the places. That's why Superman works alone, says Batman. Those are the two only times they even had any kind of cross-universe reference. And then they did, of course, Smallville, but now they do actually a much better version of that with...
I don't want to remember Smallville.
With Arrow and The Flash, which is really good.
Arrow,
which has...
I nearly called them shoes. But they're two
Arrow
shows
has problems, I'll admit, but because it created the Flash show, which is really good from the beginning.
The DC show, the DC show that they had a few years ago, which I didn't see much, but I want to watch the rest of the series. And that was Human Target, which is more about the spies of the DC universe.
I don't think it has. Yeah, I know it's based on the comic, but for me, it's like, well. They chose some kind of comic book that is not superhero related because they're so afraid of the spandex. They're afraid of spandex, apparently. Not as much anymore, but they're like, oh my god, spandex.
Oh, great. I'm just picturing the scene of like DC as Homer and Superman is like Ned Flanders. Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Stupid, sexy Superman.
I don't know. My problem is with DC is that they do this show. I haven't seen Flash or The Arrow or anything else, but it's like they set up these characters, and I don't think they will have the balls to pull it through and make those characters into movies. And then there will be another actor playing those characters, and it will be all just one. And this is why Marvel is doing better, because in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. you see the same people.
To be fair, though, I will say this: as much as I like Marvel, they have recast actors in the movies too. They have recast, obviously, the Hulk, and they've recast
one character, then like just reboot the whole franchise. I mean, they just did a Batman. Like a few years ago, and now they
okay. The problem was, but this was a Batman that they couldn't really integrate with this universe, especially with the Dark Knight Rises, because he was like, "Oh, everything hurts. I'm an old Batman after 5 years of being Batman because I have to be so realistic and everything." I'm like, "Oh my God, Nolan!" I have complained about Nolan on my podcast for a long time. I know nobody listens. Yeah, exactly.
He wakes up in the morning, takes a couple of aspirin. Right. It's fine. Does 20
every time.
This is what I have to do when I talk about
every time you mention the Nolan Batman, like, I have to be so realistic. There's a friend of Darabka in mine called Hanu. He made like a video detailing things he didn't like about the thing, and when he mentioned like, they're trying to be realistic, then he just shows like a highlight reel of all the unrealistic stuff, but puts the Benny Hill music over it. Every time people says realistic with the Batman movies, I always think.
No, it's not realistic. It's a piece of shit. Now I will tell you what's wrong with the Nolan verse.
I love it. I love it already. I love it because you see, the thing is that with the first two Batman movies, I liked it because it felt like Batman it was still like it felt like it's Gotham City. This is not our world. This is, but it could do this balance, and I felt like yeah, this kind of Batman I can see working with Superman or other superheroes, and it could work. And as a kid, I never dared, but for some reason, I never thought, they would do any other superhero movies. Like, I was happy for any kind of superhero movie. So I would watch any. But we're at an age where I'm like, come on, people, come on. Like, is it so hard to fucking do a spandex costume? Is it so fucking hard? Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
god, he's in a
hard.
spandex costume. I can see his balls and his dick, and I'm so distressed. Yeah, because it's human
Marvel,
anatomy. I'm so
Marvel did it
distressed,
well.
I have to kill myself.
Marvel
My
did it well with the
god,
Captain
Jesus
America
Christ,
costume.
people. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Captain America was good.
Oh,
yeah,
so,
Captain America was great, and he's in a fucking spandex costume, in a fucking patriotic costume, and I'm like, come on, people.
so
Come
the
on.
Nolanverse, the problems with it. It doesn't set up a Batman that we do know. Like it doesn't set up the Batman that we know in all the ways. Like that Batman isn't a detective. That Batman is not really.
Aurel, it's the Batman we need.
Okay, I kind of set that up. Yeah, should have seen it coming. But no, he's not a detective. He's not like this super being who is really good. He's just a rich boy. That's who he is. The Nolan Batman is nothing.
My great superpowers is I have a lot of money.
Because the comic Batman is okay. He has a lot of money, but when he doesn't have his shit, he can still kick ass because he's cool. Also, maybe the first movie, Begins, was kind of good because the world it was a lot darker. Like what's the Dark Knight Rises? It's all daylight. It's the Batman doesn't come out in daylight. The whole movie was
You know why you don't see Batman? Because you don't barely see Batman. You see Bruce Wayne on a fucking stick most of the time, and then he gets his ass handed by Bane. He has his back broken. And it's like, look at me. I'm doing push-ups and fixing my back. So doing push-ups, and I'm like, oh fuck you! Just fuck you! Come
Also,
on, man. I know
don't-
biology. I'm not a fucking doctor, but I know when you have your back broken, doing push-ups doesn't fix your fucking back. Okay? If you have Doctor's Fate there and doing some kind of incantation, or you have some kind of cybernetic implant, but no, we're totally realistic, man. I'm Christopher Nolan. I'm totally realistic. I'm totally realistic. Okay? Because it's super serious. Because
Have him
there's
go to
any
like
kind of-
Tibet and have the monastery where Dr. Fate is trained. Dr. Strange is trained up. Have a tie-in with a later movie. It's going to happen, and fixes his back using mystic arts of chi and shit.
Exactly. It's Dr. Fate. Dr. Strange is Marvel.
Dr. Fate.
Doctor
With
Strange is actually getting his
with
movie. Dr. Fate not.
His silver Spartan mask, yeah.
No, it's
and
a
his
golden
golden
mask. It's a golden
Oh,
mask.
okay. Sorry.
I'm a nerd,
yeah.
and you are too, and
We
no,
are
we're both nerds, whatever.
And also, what is wrong with? I mean, I would think that Marion Cotillard is a sexy woman. I don't, but she's not. And I never understood why people set her up as a desirable.
People forget Batman is so badass because he can fight these different people, and he can be in the Justice League even though he doesn't have technically any powers. Because I love how people always like, oh, you don't have any powers, that's why you're not cool. But if you're Batman, you're automatically cool. And I'm like, I love that logic, but okay. Because
Great. Every time you say that every time you compare that, I always think of Batman and Guy Gardner.
Well, Guy Gardner has a fucking ring, and Guy Gardner is awesome. And if Warner has any two intelligences points, and they do a Green Lantern movie, it should end in the bar that Guy Gardner has, and Lobo should be there, and it should set up the Lobo movie. That's how it should end. You know.
I would love every time they try that in a comic or something like that with somebody saying that Batman doesn't have any powers. He should turn around to the character who says that, hold up a couple of photographs, and like tell it and whisper his social security number and all the pins to his passwords to his porn sites and stuff, and the guy's just like, okay, I have a dust stare on every one of you fuckers.
Exactly, he knows every weakness, but also Batman did take out Guy Gardner with one punch. So, and they actually did say that the reason why they didn't allow in Arrow that they could use Blue Beetle because they want to do a Justice League International movie. Which I'm saying that if they do that, they need
Booster
to have
Gold, Blue Beetle,
They need to have Booster Gold, Blue Beetle. They need to have Guy Gardner, and Batman needs to punch him out with one punch. Get Ben Affleck for one scene only. You don't need to have many scenes, just one scene.
Oh, here we go.
Punch him out with one punch. Punch him out with one punch.
You got Batman, who's Ben Affleck, but you got to cast Matt Damon as Guy Gardner.
I'd love it. This needs to happen right now. Matt Damon as Guy Gardner. No, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe, but Guy Gardner should be some kind of actor.
Will he have that bowl cut?
Yeah, it could be, you know, but it needs to be an actor who can really play a douchey character, like because Guy Gardner's a really douchey guy.
But yeah, but Matt Damon can play a douche.
I think Matt Damon is a good enough actor. He could do it. Yeah, he could do it. Am I right? Matt Damon could do it.
Looks douchey, so yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Guy Gardner is kind of like a frat boy on acid, you know.
He kind of is, isn't he? No, he is a frat boy. I mean, he's a frat boy with a powering. That's what he is. Seriously.
Yeah. I just remember lots of images of him like sort of bellicose arguing and screaming his head off and
Justice League International. They have done now these movies that are super serious, super dark. Justice League International needs to be the comedy movie of the DC. It has to be total comedy, and the villain needs to be Lobo. Okay, that's not what it needs to be. And in the end, Lobo joins them. It needs to be end like that, okay? Just one hilarious and that's how they can also have Shazam in this cinematic universe. By the way, hello Chepe.
He's just going to get a drink.
We are shit talking Batman, and we are we are discussing why the new Superman movie will suck.
I'm not sure if it's gonna suck. There's things about it I do enjoy.
I'm picturing a scene now where this comedy movie of yours of the Justice League International, like Superman's flying in with the great big plates and making the orbital station, and the Flash is in a spacesuit and he gets his foot stuck between two big plates when they're coming together, and Superman's welding it together with his eyes, and Flash is like flaming his hands around.
I got 3 questions that will help us see whether or not the Superman movie will suck. Okay. How much fucking gray and light blue is going to be in that damn movie?
What? How much? What?
How much, like Man of Steel, like how much freaking gray and light blue is going to be in that damn movie? Like how much filter are we talking about?
All right, yeah.
Okay,
2,
yeah.
All of them.
Filter.
2, will it stop trying to take itself too seriously because this is Superman we're talking about? Right?
No.
2.
I'm not against having it being taken seriously to a degree.
Yes.
But there needs to be levity. That's what I'm saying. Like with the first Superman movie, there was serious moments, very serious moments, but there was also moments of levity and comedy. And I think you need that in a superhero movie. And with this one, what I see is like they want to be a little bit too serious with this subject.
Oh, it's going to be super serious. I mean, you got like Batman looking up and saying, "Do you bleed?" It's like, yeah, I don't see any humor in that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be funny.
I feel like the first Superman movie, I'm going to say, there was, people will say, "Oh, it's super corny." People nowadays have no resistance to corniness, okay? People who have grown up in the 80s and 70s, whatever, 90s, we got a resistance to corniness. People nowadays, everything is corny. Everything is too corny. Unless everybody's like, death, destruction, I hate myself, I want to cut myself. That's like that's the level it needs to be. Okay?
There is a black-haired Super Titan demigod in pajamas and a leotard who disguises his amazing abilities.
With the costume.
His amazing abilities, right? He disguises himself by putting on glasses, and apparently the world doesn't know, not even people who know.
Oh, Chepe, you're just
If you're going to try to make it serious, like, come on! It's Superman, right? It's gonna be a bit cheesy and corny. That's okay. It's supposed to be.
You are so I'm sorry, Chepe, but you are so I'm sorry. You're not niche. I don't know if I should take your niche card away. I'm just kidding. But
for
I'm
not
just saying.
Superman, or for accepting the fact that Superman's a bit cheesy.
No, Superman is cheesy. I will grant that.
He's the demigod of mozzarella.
Oh, great. Great, Sean. Do you know what rhymes with cheesy and niche? You're making me hungry. I want a nice cheesy quiche now.
There we go. No, you know what, Chepe, you are right. Yeah. The thing is that you can do it in a way where you can have the cheesiness and you can have the seriousness. And again, I will bring up the first Superman movie, as I've been bringing up, because this first Superman movie has cheesy moments, but a good kind of cheese, okay? And then you have the moment when he realizes he's been saving the world and Lois Lane is pretty much dead, and he tries to save her and she's still, she's dead, and then he's just screaming into the sky from all the helplessness and flies up. And they tried to simulate this with the Man of Steel film, and I feel that they're trying to do this, just the screaming part, There's no build-up. Where in the original Superman movie, there was a build-up where you had a cheesy moment. But the thing is, the problem, I don't like the word... Okay, Chepe, I don't like the word cheesy because cheesy is always a negative thing to me. I like to use the word pulpy cinematic. Yes? Okay? Superheroes are in their nature definitely pulpy and cinematic. Why? Because superheroes are born from the pulp fiction that we know. So, obviously they're going to be pulpy and cinematic. For me, the word cheesy always shows in many ways the level of kitsch anyway. But people use this word maybe not in the wrong way. I don't know. I can't say that. And I know what you mean. That's what I'm saying. The problem is that I feel that this movie is just too dark. At least what I'm seeing from the trailer. I might be wrong. It's just trying.
I got no problem with the darkness. Like if they're basing it on the graphic novel where Superman and Batman face off against each other, which is a historic literary work, that's fine. Own it and be dark. That's good. I mean, the Batman Rises and Batman Begins were dark, and it worked because it was dark. The original Batman movies with what's his name, Mr. Goth guy, those were very dark,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they were also cartoony dark as well. This is not so cartoony. And
Batman sucks.
However,
Superman sucks as much.
They need to change their whole paradigm of making a limit on how many movies you make. Like with Marvel, for instance, they've made a series of movies, a great big 3, 4, 5 year plan of movies that all link in together. And that is working to the tune of $1.2 billion. So
yeah, it's the phases. Yes.
DC needs to realize that people binge watch TV shows that they download now, or they watch it on Netflix and things like that. Movies are the new serials. They are the new sort of TV episodes. People will wait for the movies, but they need to have them consecutive. They need to have actors who commit to 3, 4, 5 movies, and they need to do them like the old serial movies that used to be, like the Flash Gordon and stuff like that. They've gone back to their roots, and that is how movies work these days. And they need to just fix their fucking thinking and go with what the market is demanding. Don't try and dictate what we consume. We will consume whatever the hell we like. And if they don't fit with what we want, we'll get it somewhere else. We'll go to internet producers. and we'll watch
We vote
independent films.
with our currency. We vote with our currency.
And
I
we
don't
voted
know
to
why
the tune of 1.2 billion.
Why don't they do just like they did with the animated movies, which are fucking awesome, by the way? And if they wanna
DC
go
does
dark,
really well with the animated movies.
yeah, if they wanna go
Animated
dark,
movies
they
are
just
great.
should do something like the Flashpoint, which was fucking cool. I mean,
I haven't seen Flashpoint yet, but
It's
like for
awesome.
example,
you go watch it now. Like you go away and watch it. It's awesome.
And for God's sake, stop explaining the superheroes to us. Every single person on the planet knows who Superman and Batman is. Everybody.
especially Superman and Batman. Like, okay, fucking Ant-Man, okay, fine, sure. But fucking Superman and Batman or Spider-Man, are you fucking serious? Even Marvel says, yes, the next Spider-Man movie, don't worry, there's not going to be an origin story.
Did Sandman come out yet?
What?
Did Sandman come out yet?
I think it's going to be a series now, so.
What? Wait, they're turning into a television series or a series of movies?
Television series.
Sandman. Like, it was going to be a movie, now it's going to be...
It's going to be a television series, yes.
What?
But it's not really superheroes related. It's comic book related, but it's not superheroes related, though.
Sandman not a superhero.
Well, Sandman, if you're talking about Sandman from Garth Ennis, is that the one you're talking about?
How about freaking, like, Sleeping Gas, Great Inventor...
Oh, that Sandman. Wait a second. I think I'm mixing shit here up.
Sandman, bro.
Wait 1 second here. I'm going to check it here. The Wiki Magic.
Think. No, not that Sandman.
You mean the guy like gas mask and stuff?
Yeah.
Ah.
Wasn't there a movie coming out of him? Or was it a different Sandman?
There's no movie coming out for him because the thing is that they're only making movies. DC Warner is only making movies of their A-list guys or like near A-list guys and people. Everything else. Well, the thing is that everything else is open for being in the TV universe right now, which is actually really sweet. I will say this for DC Warner, that I had a lot of problems, and I had also problems with the Arrow TV show, but whenever they started with the Flash TV show, they're really embracing what they are now, more and more, you know?
Now
talking about Wesley Dowd's Sandman, like the...
Like, advertisement.
There's no movie. I know there's no movie.
That's so sad.
No. If you want to watch
as far as I know... Oh, wait, no, Wesley Dodds, that guy. Do you know Smallville at all? There was a trilogy episode, like a dual episode of him in Sandman, which I'm not a big fan of Smallville, but there was an episode called Absolute Justice, which dealt with the Justice Society, and he did appear there. The idea was that they were a previous superhero group, a secret superhero group, and the idea was that they did exist, even though it was problematic, to say at least. But he is there, yeah. So
if you want to see a really good series, which is not superheroes, you should watch Black Sails, because it's the best series in the world. Advertisement over.
What is it? What?
Black Sails. It's a pirate series.
Yep,
oh, pirates. No, I like pirates.
Of course, everyone does.
Arrgh, me matey. Mutiny on the poop deck.
Do you also know the Batman Brave and the Bold TV cartoon show?
Oh,
I mean,
that's a piece of shit. No, that's
what?
horrible.
What? Menj a kurva picsába, ennyit mondok. Tűnj innen, most... I'm sorry, I'm cussing in Hungarian, and Aurel knows exactly. But that show is great, and you know it.
No.
Oh my god, it's a little bit more cornier than I can accept. Oh my god.
He's gonna hate what I enjoyed, and I enjoy Teen Titans Go, and he'll most likely hate that show.
Oh my.
I didn't watch Teen Titans Go, but I will say Batman the Brave and the Bold has the best version of Aquaman ever.
Aplaudido,
Sorry.
Kaiser. Aplaudido. Felicidades.
Are you talking now Spanish or Italian? I'm not quite sure here.
Español.
Espanol. I only speak Hungarian and German and English.
I'm only trilingual.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Anyway, Batman the Brave and the Bold. Whatever. Our.
Ooh.
Hoy Mary salad.
I love how
What
this
happened?
conversation's always. I love how this conversation's always got one person going boo every time we mention a show we like.
Batman the Brave and the Bold is fucking awesome, and I don't care what anybody says, including Outrail, because
One
that
of my
show is
favorite shows.
good. Yes, because it embraces the Silver Age spirit, and it embraces a lot of things of the DC. It embraces the DC universe as a whole.
No, it's got
Silver
Space
Age.
Ghost in an episode. How could you
It
not
has
like
Space
that?
Ghost in an episode. That's all I'm gonna say.
Did it have Bat Cow?
Okay, Chippy.
I tell you what's
saying.
wrong. I tell you what's wrong with Batman the
Batcow.
Brave and the Bold.
Bat Cow.
It's
That's what's wrong. There's not enough Bat Cow.
It's the Joker. Joker is a joke in that. It's not.
No.
It is-
The Joker is based off the Silver Age Joker.
Who is a joke?
Okay. No, the Silver Age League is based off the Silver Age Joker.
He's not a villain. He's a prankster. Come on.
So he is the prankster. Okay, my God. He
But-
is. Okay, listen, Aurea.
To be fair, he is badass in one episode when they go into the opposite world.
Yeah. No, okay, listen here. The thing is that we had a really good Joker in the animated, in the Bruce Dini DC animated universe, okay? I think there is room for a different version of the Joker. I'm not saying you have to agree or like it. Obviously you don't. That's fine. I personally think there's room for different versions of characters. Especially when you're talking animated.
Sorry, I want to add on. I just remember one episode featuring a Joker in the Batman Brave and the Bold where a Joker was absolutely terrifying. I don't want to spoil what episode it was.
I think Joker doesn't need to be a fucking mass murderer everywhere. I
I just
think
can't get over Batman's ass chin in that. The cartoon is. Oh.
that's your problem, really, AJ?
The artwork
Fucking
is awful.
superheroes have the ass chins everywhere. In the back of the day too. Come on, they have the chins. You need the chins.
Yeah.
No,
You
the
know
Crimson
what? I-
Chin needs his own movie. I mean, if we're giving every superhero
Yeah,
movie,
Crimson
let's give
Chin.
Crimson Chin something. I mean, really.
Is it just to fulfill your niche need?
No,
Pepe?
my niche need is to give fucking The Question his own movie like he deserves.
You see, that is not niche for me. The Question is not niche for me. I'm actually
Moon Knight.
sad that
Where's my Moon Knight? Where's my Question?
Moon Knight will happen.
I want my
dude. Moon Knight
Darkness
will
movie,
happen. The
damn it.
Question will
I'm
probably
looking
not happen.
I want my R-rated Darkness movie.
I want my Lobo movie. I want a lot of movies, dude. I want my fucking proper Lobo the Duck movie. Okay.
I also
I
want my
want- I
R-rated
want-
Hack/Slash movie as well.
Also, there needs to be a B movie, like intentionally B movie with Nicolas Cage in it. Bat Cow versus Man Bat. That needs to happen.
What's your
And-
problem with Man-Bat already, Chepe?
Okay.
Bonus points.
I have no
It's-
problem with Man Bat. I love
Need a
Man
fight
Bat.
pick.
Man-Bat is a great villain.
Chepe,
Can be a
Chepe.
super dark villain. Like, that's the
Chepe,
thing. You know,
no.
when I was a kid, after Batman versus Robin, I wanted to have a darker Batman. The two villains I thought would be great would be either Man-Bat or Clayface. That was that's what I thought. And there was
Two
a
of my
time.
favorite villains.
Yeah,
But instead-
Man-Bat is
yeah,
just
but
like the
ins-
lizard in Spider-Man, so.
But instead, you got Claybat or Batface.
Butt
Play
face.
Bat Face versus Bat
You see,
Cow.
Man-Bat
sequel.
is not even a cheesy enemy. I think Man-Bat is actually a terrifying enemy. He's a humanoid bat.
I want.
In the right way. Like almost a horror movie.
I don't think he's
I was
cheesy. I just think it would be great if Bat Cow, if there was a cheesy movie of Bat Cow versus Man Bat. I'm just saying.
You just
You know
because is it for? No, come on. Bat Cow. Where's Bat Cow?
Bat Cow is in the comics. It's legit. It's
Yeah,
canon.
sure,
It's
sure.
happened.
There was also a Superman horse.
There's also
Crypto, the Super Dog.
but there was a Bat Cow, and there's also
No, that's Ace the Bat Dog, and Ace is pretty sweet. Okay,
But
because
the
if you
freaking what's
watch
in the
Batman-
chimpanzee and the Bat Cow need to team up.
If you watch Batman Beyond, Ace was pretty badass. Ace.
Batman Beyond. I want a Batman Beyond movie. That's the.
Oh yeah, that would be great. I love
What?
Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond.
Yeah, they actually talked about Batman Beyond. I would totally be for a Batman Beyond movie.
I mean, they
Because-
did a freaking Spider-Man Beyond, basically video game. Universe.
You mean Spider-Man 2099? That's what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah.
Actually, you are not nerd enough to know the correct name, so it's 2099. That's how you are.
Yeah, I remember.
This is a message I'm
Every time
sending to Oral.
I'm a bit sad when it-
completely. Kush. I'm just kidding.
I'm a bit scarred when it comes to future Spider-Man because of the show Spider-Man Unlimited back in the day.
Yeah, that one was kind of shitty. That's like basically the 90s trying to rape
Like,
Spider-Man.
why did they
so.
turn Green Goblin into Gambit for?
As they said, what I said before, so take it what it was.
But I was
Hey,
watching Nicolas Cage movies the other night.
AJ, shut up, Kaiser. AJ disappeared. Because we were talking too much bullshit. We should continue,
Okay.
though.
Can I continue now?
Don't stop.
Don't-
Just keep going. There's a pit.
I'm waiting to jump ship to AJ's, to Elise or whatever thing, so we can talk more about Batman Cow. But come on, Chippe. You just looked for the most like obscure shit. Come on, you know we were talking about this. So I know.
Guys, I really have to go. It's 4 in the morning.
It's 4 in the morning here too in Deutschland. So
Yes, but I haven't slept last night either.
Look, I just came in to say hi and then mention Bat Cow, the unsung hero of the DC universe.
I will check it out. By the way, I actually must say, Chepe, you won the. By the way, Servus Aurel. Bye bye Aurel. Thank you for your input, and he's gone. But yeah, Chepe. I thank you for your input for Bat Cow, and I will check out for Bat Cow.
Okay. It was mostly a
Gosh,
joke.
darn it! I actually have a legitimate thing to say, and everyone's talking over me. It's annoying.
But Chepe, before you go,
Mhm.
let's just quickly talk about superheroes you actually like.
Oh,
Not for niche purposes. Yeah,
No.
I know you really enjoy the niche thing, but just legitimately, just from the cuff, which ones you like? DC,
I like-
Marvel, whatever.
okay. I don't really have decide a side. There's just a handful of cherry
There's no
pickings.
side. I like
Yeah.
both. And there's other superheroes too, which are just as legit. From whatever publisher, doesn't matter. Whatever
My favorite's the
superhero you
question.
like.
I really like the
que-
question.
The question is actually really sweet. I do like the
I love the
question.
question. I like Moon Knight. I like Echo. I think she's pretty sweet, especially with the synesthesia thing.
And I
I
will
like
say to
Nightcrawler.
people that say, oh, Rorschach. No, the Rorschach is based off the question, so go fuck yourself. So anyway, continue.
Exactly. And Owlman. Actually, no, I don't.
Which
I wish,
Owlman? Which Owlman? The one
Gadgeteer
from Earth
Yeah.
3 or 2 or whatever it's called? The evil
Mhm.
Batman?
No,
or
no,
Owlman
no.
from Watchmen?
The basically what the Owlman from Watchmen, effectively.
I do like Owlman from Watchmen. What's your problem with Owlman from Watchmen? I like him because he's more human. He's a more human Batman.
Effectively.
Yeah, I actually like that.
Like he's a washed-up gadgeteer. He's just trying to.
Yeah, he's washed up, exactly, and he's more human because he actually was Batman at one point. He's more the gadgeteer side, and Ozymandias. Yeah,
I'm
Kaiser?
actually not that. I'm actually not that impressed with Owlman. Honestly, I think he's a bit bland.
But
I do like him
the
because
question.
I think.
Go ahead.
Continue. Sorry. Excuse me.
No, that's fine. I like the question. Nightcrawler, Raven. I like.
Nightcrawler's great.
Raven.
Raven is cool too. Hey, that's
Are you-
cool characters.
Yeah, they have a lot of internal struggles. They have
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They have verified weaknesses, real motivations. It's
Yeah.
like they're their own version of what a superhero would be. So That's it.
That's the cool
what I
thing
like.
about superhero
Question.
mythos and the genre. There's so many that I'm saying, oh, you don't like
Question, Chap.
superheroes? Well, you didn't find the right superhero that you like.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Question, chap, my chap.
Yes.
What do you think about Booster Gold?
Who?
Booster Gold. I was about to say, if you like those superheroes, you'd probably enjoy Booster Gold.
Kaiser has said a character that you don't know about, Booster Gold. Booster Gold is pretty cool. He's from the future. His motivation is he's got a super suit. And his entire motivation is he's trying to make money off of being a superhero, but he realizes it's not really working out. He comes from the future and he goes to the past with the super suit.
Yeah,
So
Go ahead.
Imagine Iron Man but less intelligent about the suit, going into the past, trying to be super cool and super successful.
And playing all the shitty games that suck ass.
And he's not successful at it, so he has an identity crisis in a sense, where he has to accept that, do I really want to do this?
Yeah. I just didn't recognize the name. When I saw him, I was like, oh yeah, Booster Gold. Yeah, I've done it. He was in Justice League Unlimited. I saw him.
Yeah,
and
exactly. He's there too.
I've seen him a few places.
In Justice League International in the comics, but Justice League Unlimited, he had a whole episode about him, which was really good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The idea is pretty interesting. He's not necessarily my favorite, but he interests me. Things like that interest me.
There's a lot of characters where I feel like they have interesting concepts, where the entire character maybe is like not so cool, but they have an element to them that I find interesting. You know what I mean? So.
I really like Black Panther.
Black Panther is cool, of course. He's getting his own movie, by the way, and he's also going to be in Civil War, Marvel, in Captain America: Civil War. So
Black Panther is like Batman, but without the plot armor.
He is kind of Batman in a sense, and he's also kind of he's basically Captain Africa in a sense. But also he is a defender of his own nation.
Yeah.
And he also uses... Well, he's also from a secret African nation in Marvel Earth that uses vibranium technology. So they are actually more advanced, and they are more hesitant to give out that technology. So it's a very interesting... Black Panther, I always liked Black Panther, actually, honestly.
I mean, he has something he wants to protect, which is his nation. He has conflict of interest between the politics and how his nation relates to the outside world and the internal struggles with it versus how he uses.
In many ways, he's like Prince Namor or like Aquaman. Well, maybe Aquaman. It depends on which version of Aquaman, but Prince Namor definitely. Prince Namor defends Atlantis. The difference is Black Panther actually defends a real country in a real nation. Well, not a real nation, but a nation set in a real country, so to speak. And I like that. We have an actual African superhero, that works. And that's what I like about Black Panther, where Prince Namor is a cool character, but Atlantis is like a nation. It's a make-believe nation. You can set in anything, any kind of background information that you want, But with Black Panther, there's specificity, a specific kind of thing that works with him, and that's what I think is going to work also when they do it in movie version,
I hope so. I hope they don't like what's the word? Make him like a side to everyone else. Even though it kind of was, but he was like the...
No, he never was a side to me.
I meant like he was the guy that you go to when you needed to trust someone in the group because you knew his loyalty was to his nation. He was removed, but at the same time, in his case, it was a good thing.
Well, not just his nation, though. His nation was important to him, but he was just as much interested in the safety of the world as in the nation because he understood that, and he would also fight with... I mean, the first comic I remember seeing him was in an Iron Man comic. And the thing is that I think he's going to be just fine. because Marvel so far hasn't done really bad things with me. You know, like movie wise. I've been just watching the Daredevil TV series, which is fucking awesome.
Still haven't seen it.
And
I haven't seen.
It's
I haven't
pretty
seen
s-
it either because of the
It's
slow
pretty
down. Is that coming out on DVD, by the way? It'd be a waste not to put that series on DVD.
most likely, yeah. It's on Netflix right now, so. You have Netflix, Kaiser, right?
Yeah, but I don't have the
Type it.
bandwidth. But I don't have the bandwidth to support it.
You need better internet than.
Kaiser, I have this image that you're like under your desk and around your room is just like a bunch of literal toasters like wired together and then just plugged into the wall, and that's your internet.
Close.
you-
It's just
you-
close.
you have
It's
literal
just,
toasters.
It's just no, it's close. It just instead of toasters, it's tin cans, like used up coffee cans and baked bean cans.
Is there a hamster wheel with like a goat on it, like a giant hamster wheel, and you just stuck a goat to it? And
Oh
it was
no,
stuck-
we don't need goats for that. Have you seen the size of our spiders here in Australia? Just watch Starship Troopers, and that movie was filmed in Australia.
No, actually, it was filmed in Australia, and there was no special effects. There is these big bugs, and this is where I'm going to end the
Granted,
broadcast.
Granted, they're a lot friendlier in real life than they are in the movies.
And as
Now-
long as you don't argue like politics or soccer or like what is it, football with them, it's all good.
John, do you think they're gonna go with the tie for the
Tie
ending
of what?
Batman vs Superman?
It's not if they're gonna do it properly. Okay, if we're going back to this, if they're gonna do it properly, it's not about the fight between Batman versus Superman because that fight is anyway ridiculous.
Mhm.
Number two, it's about them eventually teaming up to fight the real villain.
Oh, if they were gonna do a proper versus movie, they need to do Superman versus Muhammad Ali.
No, actually, this would. Yeah, nowadays it probably wouldn't work, but I know what you mean. Like there was a crossover comic like that where Superman was depowered and he actually fought Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali actually defeated him. But when I'm talking about the movie, Chepe, there might be a tie, just like they did with, for example, movies, other versus movies, like Alien versus Predator 2. I remember that one where there was a tie. But I'm thinking in this movie, it's gonna be they're gonna fight, but they're gonna come. They are going very much with the Dark Knight Returns storyline to a degree. But there's gonna be a moment where they're gonna basically put their differences aside and fight against a real villain, which is gonna be Lex Luthor. And I'm mostly thinking the Cyborg, or not the Cyborg. I'm sorry, Metallo from Superman, and I think that's how it's going to end, where Superman's going to fight Metallo.
Yep.
So I really hope that's gonna how it be, because for me, Superman and Batman are best of buds. Okay, and that's how it should be in this movie. I don't have a problem with them fighting. Especially, in the Marvel universe, there's this saying: Marvel guys, when they meet, they fight, and they become best buds. Even in Avengers, they did that. So honestly, with this movie,
Even in Dragon Ball Z, they did
as
that.
serious and dark they're doing everything. If they're doing it, this is just a teaser trailer. I'm gonna wait for the full trailer. Yes, even in Dragon Ball Z they did it. Dragon Ball Z just follows the Marvel and DC tropes, adds in the Journey to the West tropes, and mixes it to a new batch, basically.
And then just fills it. Just lots and lots of filler.
Yeah.
The cartoon does. The comic book not so much, but the
Alright,
cartoon does. because
the comic book's
cartoon-
good. There's a lot of filler in the Dragon Ball Z show, but in Dragon Ball Z Kai, it goes by way too fast.
In Kai, they basically removed the filler because in the original cartoon show, they did the filler because the comic book series was still going, so there was a lot of conflict there going. So when it was coming out and everything. So,
But anyway, Naruto
But
was
anyway,
much more
the
notorious
point-
for filler.
and the thing
go
was,
on.
he was a fan of the guy who made, well, what's his name is Tori Ariyame. He did a great job, but he was also obviously a fan of American comic books, like DC and Marvel, because you can see the influence of both. And Goku is definitely a mixture of Journey to the West and Superman. I mean, fucking, what is it, Vegeta, when they arrive with the three guys. I mean, he is basically General Zod. Let's just be honest here, okay? And the point is that with this movie, Warner has an opportunity. They're trying to, they have basically decided in their way that they're going to be the darker version of the cinematic universe. I'm like, okay, I'm not quite fine with this, but on the other hand, I see the Flash TV series, and that one is great. Okay? And I feel that right now, Zack Snyder is all over this shit. Things can change. I want this movie to succeed. I don't want to be negative. I love Superman, I love Batman, I love the DC universe. Just as much as I love the Marvel universe. I just love Spider-Man 2 and Hulk and Captain America and all this shit. Okay, I grew up with this shit. Unironically, without any kind of scarves, headbands, mustaches, and whatever. I love this shit. I do. I can see the flaws in it because I understand them. But I like it how it is. And I don't think there's any problem with that. Okay? Everything has flaws, everything has problems. But I can also appreciate to see it in a pure way. You know? So I'm curious how the movie's gonna be. I'm waiting for the full trailer. So far, it does come over as a bit too dark for me. On the other hand, if they're trying to make a balance between Batman and Superman, I hope there's some lighter moments in the movie. This is what I want to say about it.
Which just wanted to know because
Yeah.
good.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was
You're
just going to
talking.
say, no, it bothered me whenever there is like a portrayal of Batman versus Superman, that the battle always seems to be like one-on-one, like a normal duel, when that would never be the case. Like if it's a matter of brain versus brawn, or if it's a matter of Batman setting a trap, or Superman basically head forcing his way through Batman, wouldn't it be lost as soon as Superman basically gets Batman on an equal playing field? Like on Batman's part?
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because there's two ways how the fight would go. Either Superman kills Batman because of his super speed, super strength, and all his other powers. Okay? If I would be Superman, I could kill Batman in less than a second. Okay? The difference is, Batman is always prepared, technically. It's plot convenience. Batman has a kryptonite ring. Batman has all the story plot, devices where he can defend himself, Batman literally in one story has literally, what is it, the Tower of Babel storyline where he has a way, one of the villains gets Batman's data on how to defeat everybody in the Justice League, So Batman has always a plan. That's his biggest superpower. It's a plot convenience storyline. The reason why they did it is because they had to somehow explain that Batman can compete with these gods,
And I bet you all of
demigods.
Batman's weakness files all says that classic Monster Squad line, "Kick him in the nards."
If you read a storyline like you read other comic books where they take these superhero tropes, but they do it in a darker way, in a truly darker way, like The Authority or The Boys, or even like Astro City or any of those comic book lines, you could tear Batman apart in less than a second. Okay? If I'm Superman, I will never give Batman the choice to defeat me. I'll tear him apart without even thinking. I can move faster than basically light. Even if I don't move faster than light, I can move fast enough that Batman can't react to it. And even the little kryptonite he can show won't affect me. There's many ways I can argue that Superman is like, in many ways, yeah, he's undefeatable. Or what? There's a very good Squadron Supreme. There's multiple comic book lines that deal with that. On the other hand, that's why Superman has multiple weaknesses, including different forms of kryptonite, red sun rays, and magic, because he's so powerful. It's because they created these weaknesses because he was so powerful to make him more interesting. Because the undefeatable hero is not as interesting as Aurel already said. And that's why these weaknesses work, you know. That's why they invented multiple versions of kryptonite. So my point is that the shared universe concept is one that is hard to do. I like it. I like the shared universe concept because, I don't know, I grew up with it. It's something that I always liked, and it always was a colorful, awesome way of doing a fictional universe. But you can do it in a more mature, darker version. Does it have to be the DC and Marvel universe? No. But there's other comic book producers that do basically the same universe, slightly different, and with different names, but it's the same thing. I mean, for example, The Authority, they have a version of Batman and Superman where they're gay lovers. And it works actually really well. You know, they're the dynamic duo.
Gay duo.
Well, they're the obvious gay duo. And you don't want to fuck with them because both of them are fucking lethal. This world's Batman will fucking kill with no problem. This world's Superman will fucking kill with no problem.
That Batman would be, a masochist.
I'm just picturing a version of Batman wearing like his leather outfit.
He's called the Midnighter, and Apollo, and the version that they have is Apollo, that they call. He's not actually Apollo of the Greek gods, but that's his name.
I'm just picturing a version of Batman coming down with like his like leather, sort of like a Catwoman-esque outfit, like, but instead of like when you see his mouthpiece, it's got like a ball gag in there.
What I seen in The Authority, if anything, the Midnighter would be the Dom, if anything. Even because what I've seen is that they still went with pretty much the same personalities. They just happen to be, homosexual, and they don't pull punches in The Authority. The thing is that this is how they wanted to do these characters. But anyway, This is neither.
One thing I would say, if I was in a relationship with Superman, I'd be screwed if he was into S&M. I would be screwed.
I think most of us would be.
I think if you're in a relationship with Superman, you are by default a masochist. That's what I was trying to imply.
Like I've seen one episode of Smallville.
This is what bugs me with the super sperm that kills people. That theory, I'm like.
No, I didn't necessarily. I just meant super strength, right? He's gonna lose control at some point, and you're gonna at least get bruises.
No, not necessarily, because again, Superman is not human. Also, he's been trained to control himself. So you don't know that. And this is the thing is that. But then again, if you have an asshole who is like that, yeah, sure.
As I was saying, I did see one episode of Smallville one time. Where was it? Lana Lane got superpowers or something like that, and Superman had sex with her, and every time they were having sex, it just caused earthquakes.
That's another thing where it's basically Smallville is also not the best reference, honestly, Kaiser.
No. I know. I just felt like bringing it up. No pun intended.
I'll just gonna end it here. Any last words, guys?
Obligatory RoboCop reference.
Well, at least say something. You'd buy
RoboCop.
Deadpool dollar or something.
RoboCop. He has a really kick-ass gun.
All I have to say is superheroes are great. They're about seeing the things that you want to triumph.
Yeah.
There's a superhero for everyone, just like there's an anime for everyone. Like there's a
Exactly.
for everyone.
There's so many superheroes out there, and you just not
Superheroes
only
are overrated, dude. Go to
Not
supervillains.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that not only look on Marvel and DC, there's many superheroes and supervillains out there in the world from different publishers, different people. So there's a lot out there. So don't look at just Marvel and DC. There's a lot out there. And yes,
Yeah.
I will add tokusatsu, the Japanese tokusatsu, as superheroes, because that's what they are.
There's a lot. No, just not comics, dude. There's manga, which manga and comics are pretty much the same thing. Just sort
It
of.
doesn't matter what media they appear. Superheroes are superheroes. It doesn't matter what. It's
Yep.
just a person with super abilities, either fighting for justice. If they're a supervillain, they have super abilities, fighting for their own gain. That's the definition. And people are basically people who have superpowers, and they don't know what the fuck they're supposed to do, and they're just trying to figure it out. And that's kind
And
of
then you got
three
people who can't
categories.
figure out what the hell they are. Those people are called teenagers.
Any final words, guys? By words,
Dude, dicks.
Anyway, it was fun. Superhero movies are probably going to continue regardless, and there will probably be disappointments and a few rejoicings. That's it.
come on, man. Guardians of the Galaxies was cool.
Yeah. Well, I actually haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so I will say this.
Maybe I did
fel-
not regret
I
seeing
will-
it in the cinemas.
I will say this, great believers, for the Death Note of Doom, for great justice. Talk to you later.